This is the craziest side Easter egg reward I've ever seen in Call of Duty Zombies. You just saw me get Perkaholic, which means every single perk in the game on round 15 without a Gobblegum. I've even seen some people be able to do this on round 13. There's just a little bit of RNG involved. In this video, I'll show you exactly how you can do it. It's not hard at all, it just takes a little bit of time. But I can't wait to see how people optimize this, how people use this to make the boss fight of Terminus just that little bit easier, because having Perkaholic is a massive advantage, and the Gobblegum to get it is pretty rare. So let's head back to the start of the game where I got this. Basically, your goal is to kill 50 fish on Terminus. That's 50, 50. That's quite a lot of fish. To do this, I'd strongly recommend having a weapon that fires explosive rounds. So the GS45 pistols are the obvious choice. As soon as you pack-a-punch them, they fire explosives. I've also brought concussion grenades in because as a tactical, they actually explode and can kill the fish, and they're very cheap to make more of as well. And then I've also brought a Semtex, but you can use anything like a frag grenade or an impact grenade. Molotovs don't seem to work. I haven't tried a thermo grenade yet. Play through the match as normal until you turn the power on. So you defend the AMP machine, turn the power on, and unlock Pack-a-Punch. While you're doing this, I'd strongly suggest you try to avoid spending any salvage. Gain as much as you can. You can put suppressors on your weapons to make sure you get as much salvage as possible. And also you obviously want to be saving as much essence as you can, because if you can get to 5,000 and then Pack-a-Punch the GS45 straight away, that makes everything a little bit easier. So once the AMP machine has finished and it kills all of the zombies that are nearby, at least all of the fake purple-eyed zombies, then you can jump into the water and turn on a Pack-a-Punch machine as per normal. Now your job is pretty much going to be killing fish. And like I said, you need explosives to do this. So if you Pack-a-Punch the GS45s, that will mean that they fire explosive ammo. But that does actually still make it quite difficult to shoot the fish, because for some reason it's quite hard to control where the explosions go off with them. So that's why we've got the concussion grenades and the Semtex as well, just so if we see the fish, then if we can't hit them with the pistols, we can use the grenades instead. So you're going to see the fish where there's this kind of water jumping up. It's a little bit harder to see just now because I'm trying to shoot them with the pistols. But where you see water jumping up over the surface, that means there's fish nearby. And you can actually see the red fish in the water there. So I just threw a concussion in because I couldn't hit them with the pistols. And then one item jumped out. Now, it's really important that you count the number of items that pop out. That was just one. Sometimes there'll be two and sometimes there'll be three. And that's because you get one item per fish that you kill. Now, thankfully, there's only set places where the fish can spawn. So in the biolabs, there's a few places in the water there, all down by where you can go to the lower part of the water. That's where all of the fish will spawn. You can hear them as well, so as you're running around, just sort of keep an ear out for some splashing and things like that. So while you're in the biolab, you want to be running down to the lower area and just kind of listening out for any splashing, having a look around. Sometimes they can spawn just here, kind of under the stairs. So I just threw a Semtex in there to kill them. And then you can see that's just one object again. I was having quite bad luck at the beginning of this, which is probably why it took me to round 15. But that means now I've got two different items. So I've killed fish twice, and you just kind of need to keep that count running in your head. I guess you don't need to, but that gives you an idea of when you're going to be able to complete this Easter egg, when you're going to get Perkaholic. Now, it's really important to kind of keep on looking out for all of them, because sometimes it can be a little bit subtle, sometimes it's easy to miss them, and the more that you miss, the longer the Easter egg's going to take. Obviously, you want to get the benefits of Perkaholic as early as humanly possible. Once you're pretty sure there's no more in biolab, then you can take the free boat that spawns, or you can buy a boat, it doesn't really matter. And then if you go out of this cave, it will take you out to kind of the ocean, I guess, the outdoor area, and out to the boat. So the Shipwreck, there's a few different places in here where the fish can spawn. Some of them are just here, kind of near this entrance. They can spawn there, and you can see there's some splashes just behind my boat. So I turn around there and I use the pistols. Here I can just shoot below them, and then 3 objects jumped out. One of them's a rarity wrench, which is really cool, an ether tool. But that means now I've got 5. So I've got 2 lots of the one before, and then I've got 3 there. So some can spawn there. They can also spawn at the bottom of the ladder, that's just where that light is, and in the other little hole that's behind there. You can see there's another little hole there. And sometimes the fish can also spawn at the end of the boat here, so around here. This is actually a little bit annoying when they spawn here. I just saw the fish there before they even jumped up. But I saw them just there. I shot a few times to see if I could get them, but annoyingly I couldn't. And a big tentacle monster started chasing me, and you always kind of want to get away from that. Now, the next set of spawns are over on Crab Island, which is the biggest island. I just built a load more concussion grenades there because I had a load of salvage left over. And all of the fish spawns here are on these little bays. So there's a little bay here, you can see, and there's a zombie crawling around up there. Make sure you get PhD flopper when you can afford it, by the way. But you just saw some water splash there, so I just shot underneath them. And then that's one more piece of salvage. And then there's two other little bays on this island. So there's another one just here around the corner. And then you kind of, I could just about see the fish there. And I shot it and got two more objects. So that was two more fish that had died. And then there's one more of these little bays. If you just keep on running along the beach and then look down on the left down here, this is the next bay. So sometimes fish can spawn here. Now at the beginning of your game, there's going to be a bunch of spawns. There's going to be loads of different locations. You can see there's two more items. That's two more fish. There's going to be loads at the beginning. Sadly, this isn't how it continues for the rest of the game. After this, every round, it seems like maybe 2 locations will spawn more fish in each round. They don't disappear straight away, so feel free to do like 2 or 3 rounds if you want, and then go around and find all of the fish that are available. Or for the sake of trying to do it as early as possible, in this game, I was actually doing it after every single round. So those are all of the spawns on Crab Island. Then there's a few more spawns just underneath the sea tower. So I did actually go back and get all of those spawns from the end of the boat as well. And then I drove round to the sea tower. Or I piloted the boat, I guess. And then parked here. I tried to park the boat out of the way, away from where the fish can spawn. But the fish can spawn in loads of locations around here. So they can spawn just here, kind of near those little steps. They can spawn all the way around these rocks. So you can see there's some fish there jumping up. So I just decided straight away to throw a concussion there. And then I got 1 item, which is a bit rubbish. The tentacle monster was still chasing me at this point, which was kind of annoying. And then they can spawn in here in this little sort of bay type bit. They can spawn in this little one. And I was just kind of trying to double check as we go around here. And then they can also spawn in like a little tunnel, which is where you walk over. So there's this little bay, they can spawn here. And then just that little tunnel on the left, they can actually spawn in there. I don't always check that. I forget about that one. Then there's some down here. These can spawn, so you need to go up here. I think that was 3 that I could see. So yep, there's 3 items there. And so basically you want to check all of those areas. So it's the biolabs, the big area where Pack-a-Punch is basically, the sunken ship, and then Crab Island, checking those 3 little bays, and then all around the bottom of Sea Tower. Once you've checked all of those areas and you're sure there's no more fish, then just go start the next round. I liked training zombies in biolab, I liked fighting in there. Go back there, flipped around, and then just keep on doing that until you've counted up to near 50 fish. So here we are on round 15, and at this point I'd counted up to 49 fish, and it had actually taken 27 separate fish spawns to get up to that. So on average I was getting about 2, maybe slightly less than 2 fish per spawn. Sometimes you get 3, but sometimes you get less. Here's the last lot. Then as soon as I kill them, I actually get concussed. You can see I now have Perkaholic. There was no message up on the screen, no kind of announcement that I was getting Perkaholic or anything like that. It just all popped up. Suddenly, I've got Perkaholic, I've got all 8 perks. And that's all there is to it. Now, I'm not sure if there's a faster way to do this, if there's a quicker way to get more fish to spawn. If there is, let me know in the comments. This isn't like the most useful thing to do because getting those 50 fish kills does take a very long time. But if you're playing a game anyway, and maybe your friends are taking a little bit of time, like you're exploring a little bit, trying some of the side Easter eggs, it might be worth doing this. Just whenever you see some fish, make sure that you kill them. And then if you do happen to get to 50 fish before the boss spawns, you get a Perkaholic, which is pretty awesome, I think. A massive thanks to everybody on stream that helped me to find all of these things, and ZeppelLive781, who posted about this on the COD Zombie subreddit. This is how I found out about it. I saw his post, I saw his video, and then hopped on the game to try it out for myself. Lots of people were saying that this was fake, that it wasn't real, but it definitely works. I've done it for myself. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you for the next one. Goodbye.